Back in my day, when I was a little kid, I watched Transformers for the first time. That was the moment that changed the course of my life forever. Not because the movie was that impactful, I barely remember it nowadays, but because of the fact that I got my very first Transformers toys. You guys can tell the impact it had on me. So what was my first Transformer toy? No, it was not these guys, or these. It was the Legends classes. These four were my first experience with the franchise, and I absolutely loved them. I played with them so much. Maybe too much. But the point is, small, affordable figures are integral to the franchise. Parents are a lot more likely to buy them for their children, and that is the sole reason why I got into Transformers in the first place. They prioritize play and fun over anything else, and managed to do so at such a small scale and cost. And look at this, they even gave us a Legends class Jet Power Prime. And they even gave us a full combining Devastator with standalone components. And on top of that, we also got a forklift. And even this guy, which is amazing at such a small scale. These are what hooked me, and what hooked a lot of other children as well. And honestly, I think that small, affordable Transformers have always been the heart of the franchise. They're easy to afford, easy to understand, and so fun to play with. But lately, it has been struggling. The modern day equivalent to these small scale Transformers are the core classes. And despite me glazing the small scale, this specific line is different. I honestly expected it to continue throughout the entirety of the Studio Series line, but it was cut very short. And on top of that, they still shelf warm to this day. So why did it come to this? Before we talk about it, let's understand what makes this scale successful in the first place. In the Revenge of the Fallen toy line, they introduced the Scout class, in addition to the already present Legends class. They were slightly larger, more detailed toys, and they were really cool. They had so many creative characters. Some of them were from the movie, but they also had quite a few that never even appeared in the movie, and a lot of them were so unique. I mean, look at this. It's a toaster. And as I said in the introduction, here's a forklift. When have we ever gotten a toaster and a forklift transformer? Or even anything close to this? Look at how cool all of these guys are. A biplane at this scale is crazy. And I don't think we even have another mainline biplane transformer. Let me know if I'm wrong though. And even the more basic guys, like the car transformers, still have unique car modes. I don't think I've ever seen another car mode like hubcaps, aside from the recent Hot Wheels collab. And on top of that, they marginally improved the engineering and posability from the basic Legends class. And they look amazing. They are genuinely really cool, and so fun and unique with such nice designs. I know that I'm glazing Scout class, but it's genuinely really nice seeing them make completely new characters with the most unique alt modes. I wish we had that today. If I had got these as a kid, I would have been so happy. In my opinion, these scaled figures are so much better than Legends classes. And I can say that for anything after this too. This type of scale is the ideal size for entry-level Transformers. And speaking about the other lines in the scale, the Dark of the Moon and Prime Cyberverse line was amazing. I was too young to really understand what the Scout class was, so I never really bothered with them as a kid. But these guys were my childhood. I was obsessed with looking at them in store, and obsessed with watching all the reviews. Funnily enough, I only cared about these types of figures, and I didn't think about the Deluxes, Voyagers, and Leaders at the time. And the small scale Transformers, just like with Revenge of the Fallen, were split into two types of figures. Legion classes, which is just the same as Legends classes, just with a new name, and the Commander classes, which was basically the equivalent to Scout classes. And so, after begging and begging my parents for my very first Commander class, they allowed me to get one.
No, Optimus!
Sentinel Prime. As a kid, the jump from a Legends class to a Commanders class felt like the jump from a Leader class to a Masterpiece level figure. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I really like this guy, and obviously, being a greedy little kid, I wanted more. But I had the self-control to not get another one. Damn, I had more self-control as a kid. These toys were so fun, and on par with the Scout class in terms of playability. Even though they were less unique and fun designs, they were still really interesting and had that really nice fun factor. I remembered that I also really wanted the Blackout and Megatron. And even from the Prime line, where I had no attachment to the continuity, I still wanted the Predaking and the Megatron. And as these types of figures improved and improved over time, the actual Legends classes slowly started to lose some of that magic. But don't get me wrong, they are still fun. It's just that their quality and engineering have not really improved at all. The more modern Legends classes were just on the same level as the original 2007 Legends classes. Despite being so many years older, we have been getting the same Optimus for years and years. And with the Last Night line, they did sort of fall off in my opinion. Drift is interesting. But there were a few gems. I think Dragonstorm was pretty cool. Having a giant dragon being a tiny Legion class figure seems so fun. And the toy itself also looks really fun to play with. And also, the Last Night Megatron is really good. I actually think it is the best Legions class ever. Though, I might be biased. But still, overall, small scale Transformers, especially the Scout class and Cyberverse line, balance fun and price perfectly, and are the sole reason why a lot of people get into Transformers in the first place. And now, with the most recent iteration of the small scale Transformer, we have the Core class. Now, you might be expecting me to say that they're worse than their predecessors, that Scout class and Cyberverse were better, but honestly, not really. Besides a few outliers, they are the best small-scale Transformers that we've had so far. The engineering, articulation, and overall quality of life are better. So, what happened? Why did the Core class fail? And why can we still find Wave 1 Kingdom Core classes still shelf-forming in stores? Let's break it down. Older, small-scale Transformers had this undeniable charm. They weren't trying too hard to be as accurate as possible. They were just simple, creative, and fun. They were prioritizing creativity and playability. It was so experimental, and it made for a genuinely nice toy. And in comparison, let's take a look at the Bumblebee movie Ravage. Sure, I do think it's really fun, and as a companion piece to Soundwave, it does have something going for it. In a vacuum, ignoring price as well, it's alright. But compared to something like Deadlift, it is clear that the Bumblebee movie Ravage doesn't even come close. Most core classes do not have the same play value as this. And what even is this? Putting core class Bumblebee next to something like this makes it clear that the newer figures have lost what made the old ones special. Even though core classes are cleaner, more modern, and just more collectible, they're not as fun. The older ones made you want to play with them, and these ones just sort of exist, and they're just things to add to your collection. But who knows, maybe I'm just blinded by nostalgia. It wouldn't be the first time. But something that is more objective is oversaturation. Some figures were stocked way too much, and others barely got stocked at all. Kingdom Dracodon, a figure released 4 years ago, is still shelf-warming to this day, and there are just so many left. If I end up going outside, I'll have a picture here so you can see what my store has. And on top of that, it has been half price for as long as I can remember. Even Kingdom Optimus, the very first Kingdom Core class figure, is still being sold on sale as well, which is so surprising since it is Optimus Prime. And going from being overstocked to being really understocked, I barely even saw Hot Rod or Megatron in store. Over the many years of me checking stores, I only ever saw 6 or 7 of them, like combined. And I had to get Rattrap in the Netflix 2-pack of Primal. But that just might be Australia, or I might just be unlucky. Let me know if you guys had the same thing happen in your area. With the exception of Vertebrake and Dracodon, every single core class has been an established character. Which is completely fine, by the way. It does work for sales. But in this scale, I think they should focus on making fun figures. Where with a few exceptions, like the core classes in the Studio Series line, accuracy should not be a concern at all. This small size allows us to take creative risks, make weird alt modes, and try out new characters. And that's why Scout class was so nice. It didn't play it safe. You got all kinds of random, unique, and experimental figures. Things that we would never expect, especially nowadays. They prioritized fun over character adherence, and that's what made the line feel so alive. And this is what core class desperately needed, in my opinion. Due to the small size, it needed to feel exciting and to be full of personality to make sales. But then again, some core classes are just straight up bad. Hot Rod and Bumblebee were not good at all. They had some weird design choices and proportions, as well as bad QC. It just seemed like they didn't care about these figures, and that could be another reason why they lacked charm and fun. But let's take a break from the negativity. Obviously, there are a few exceptions to this problem, and there are some core classes that are genuinely amazing. Rattrap and Mohawk are perfect for the size class. They're fun, unique, and just great figures. I really like these two, and Rattrap is my favourite core class. And Soundwave is probably my second favourite core class. He's so solid, and he feels really nice in hand. The play experience here is really good, and it is better than the old Scout class and Cyberverse figures. He even has a mini laser beak, which shows that they actually tried for this. If every core class figure was on the same level as Soundwave, then I would definitely say that core class succeeded Cyberverse. And I can say the same for the Bumblebee movie Starscream and Shockwave. They're just solid figures. But unfortunately, these wins were drowned out by the really poor core classes. But there's something that all of them, good or bad, have in common. They are nowhere near worth the retail price. Literally, the only ones I could say that are almost worth it are Rattrap and Soundwave. The pricing on core classes are absurd, especially when you consider core classes like these, and really tiny ones like Ravage and Rumble. Where I'm at, they were basically almost the same price as deluxe classes before the price increase. So why would people even buy them in the first place when a deluxe was already there at a similar price? If core classes had fun, unique characters like what I mentioned before, then maybe it would justify this price more. But it doesn't. None of them actually feel like they're worth it. What makes this size so special is the low cost but high play value. And with core class, they did keep play value, but they destroyed the low cost of the small scale transformer. A core feature of this size is that they are affordable and act as a fun entry point into the franchise. However, if I was a kid now, I would not get these. The lack of charm, variety, and the inflated price means that I would have no way of really getting into Transformers. And honestly, my parents would probably look at these and wonder where their money would even go to. There's no way they'll buy this for me. When children, the actual target audience for this size, are priced out, you know it's bad. But in the end, I don't hate the core class. I think that the idea behind it is great, but the execution for this just wasn't there. They did not handle anything right, from the quality to distribution and to the pricing, leading to the unfortunate downfall of this line. The old small scale figures, the Scout and Cyberverse toys, they took risks, gave us weird alt modes, new characters, and pure creativity. And Core Class could have been that. They had a few gems that showed us what they could do. But as a whole, the childlike fun that this size was meant to provide was not there. I do hope that they bring back Core Class, and I do hope that they improve. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way until the end, and I hope you have a good day.